Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post another quick video here. This is going to be my third response to Adam's 180 subs contest. His original contest was your favorite 80s male artists, and there were so many of those that I had to kind of divide up into different genres. So my first video I did pop and new wave. Second video I did hard rock, metal, and hair metal. So for the third 80s male artist, I'm doing 80s R&B. Okay. So again, as a reminder, I'm trying to pick out bands here that were bands that I were really into back then. Nothing that I've discovered more recently or over the past 10, 15 years that now I like that I've discovered it. So only the stuff that I was really listening to as a kid. And I also tried to avoid bands that had long crossovers or artists that had long crossovers, like the Jacksons, for example. You know, Michael Jackson, they were kind of part of the, 60s, or I guess 60s, late 60s, 70s, 80s. So I didn't pull stuff like that out. Marvin Gaye's another good example. He had kind of some longevity crossover into the 80s. He had some great stuff. Smokey Robinson, same thing. Motown all the way up through the 80s. So I left those kind of artists out, even though I did love them back then as well. So here we go. This is what I was digging back in the day. Hell of a way to start off right there. Ready for the World. Love this group. Most people probably know them with songs like Love You Down, or what's the other biggest hit? Oh Sheila, probably their biggest hit, but which is on this album. But the song Digital Display, that was my ultimate jam by Ready for the World. The groove and kind of the funk and the bass line of that. Not even funk, just that electric type of, I don't know how to describe exactly what it is. 'Cause it's not bass, it's not, but I don't know, it's just a tight track, that's all I gotta say. Love those guys. With the Jerry curls. And yes, for a short period of time, in 7th grade, I think I had a Jerry curl. That was the end thing. Playing in the background, Midnight Star. Definitely one of my favorite groups. And if you want to know why, it's because of that right there. Any group, for the most part, that had a voice box in their stuff, I pretty much fell in love with right away. That was just the coolest thing to me as a kid, was the voice box. And what's his name right here? He was the one that used to work that. And so songs like Body Snatchers and Scientific Love and Operator, funky. Love Midnight Star. Matter of fact, I think Operator's up after this song, which is one of my tightest jams from the 80s. Back in the 80s, when Purple Rain and everything came out, the time was pretty big there for a while with Morris Day. And this is Ice Cream Castles. The two bigger hits off of this, of course, is Jungle Love and The Bird. That's stuff they had in regular video rotation and everything else. But one of the true hits off this album is the title track, Ice Cream Castles. Very, very cool, unique kind of song. I mean, very the time/Prince era-ish. I mean, very, very cool track. So take a listen to that if you never heard it before. Keith Sweat. Bam, late 80s, I was jamming the heck out of this. Keith was one of those guys that is not necessarily a good singer, but with his voice and what he does, he makes awesome music. And this is a prime example of this. Song for song, definitely one of my favorite R&B albums from the late 80s. As you can tell by the stone-washed jeans and the Cosby-looking sweater, this was definitely late 80s. Great album, though. One of the greatest R&B groups from the 80s without question. SOS Band. Now this is one of like 5 or 6 records I have by them, and they have so many great tracks. On this album, No One's Gonna Love You, and probably my second favorite song by them, which is Weekend Girl. My #1 song by them on their other album is Tell Me If You Still Care. one of the smoothest love jams of all love jams. Gotta love SOS Band. Most people probably have not heard of them, but if you've heard, most people I should say have heard the song "Take Your Time, Do It Right," or what's the other one? "Just Be Good to Me," which is actually a song that was used as a WWF wrestling intro song for a while. But those two songs are a little more commonly known, but it really is all the smooth 80s R&B grooves that really made this band for me. Same thing here from 1980s, another great R&B band, Rolls Royce. You know, they're the ones that did the title track to the song of the movie Car Wash. Oh, that's my jam right there. I can't even think straight right now. I Want to Get Next to You, Wishing on a Star, Car Wash. That is good stuff. But yeah, I Want to Get Next to You, one of the best R&B love songs of the 80s of all time. Great, great stuff. That is tight. The man right here, Lionel Richie. Don't have to say anything about him. One of the greatest songwriters of all time. Right there with Bruce Springsteen from an 80s pop, all that mainstream type of thing. Incredible songwriter. This is his greatest hits, back to front. This is nice because it has stuff from his solo career as well as stuff from the Commodores too, which is kind of nice. So, seen him in concert twice, never lets you down at all. Jeffrey Osborne from LTD. That's the group he used to be with, and he got into a solo career. Songs like "You Should Be Mine" and "Baby Stay With Me Tonight" on this other album. Great, great tracks. So awesome artist from the 80s. As a kid, I was done. Right there, right there. Now, I have him in the 80s section. Man, that is tight stuff. Oh my gosh, I can't even concentrate. I have Billy Ocean in my 80s section, even though he can, kind of go pop or whatever as well. But this is Suddenly, which is definitely a huge hit from him. Now, of course, the big tracks off of here, Caribbean Queen and Loverboy, are kind of the two that got completely played out and made him a superstar. But it's the B-sides, once again, that truly are the hits on this album. Mystery Lady and Syncopation are the two best songs on this album without question. I don't care how much radio play they did not get or whatever else. Especially Syncopation. I mean, that song is... love it. Alexander O'Neal. I have to stop myself from starting to groove to that song and stay on topic here. That's just how much it takes control. Alexander O'Neal is one of my favorite 80s R&B artists. He used to do a lot of stuff with a woman named Sherelle, who was one of my favorite female R&B artists. They both had their own solo careers, but they would always come together and do a lot of stuff on each other's albums. And I don't know if they were dating or if they were ever married, but it was kind of one of those type of like almost like one of those White Stripe type relationship things, I think, or musical things. So like on here, the song Innocent, she makes a cameo on this. One of my favorite songs by her, which is Saturday Love, he makes a cameo on that in a very good way too. But the song If You Were Here Tonight is easily one of my top 10 favorite R&B love songs from the 80s. Again, just total complete jam. So I gotta have Alexander in the mix. M to Me, Juicy Fruit. The title track, Juicy Fruit, was without question one of my favorite songs and my favorite videos back in the 80s. So again, if you're not familiar with that, you gotta make sure you check it out. I could have picked any one probably of the 8 or 9 Kool and the Gang albums that I have, but you gotta throw Kool and Gang in the mix of 80s R&B. On this particular album, you get Fresh, Misled, and Cherish, but I mean, you guys know Kool and the Gang. Everything from Jungle Boogie on up they have all kinds of great stuff. The Earons, the first coming of Daft Punk. You know, in some way, shape, or form, I think Daft Punk was inspired by these guys in some way. A lot of the same type of things, you know, they did the whole helmets and these kind of biker type suits, and all their interviews, concerts, everything they did, they had that on so no one ever knew who they were. They didn't even give their names. They used to signify their names by the numbers they had on the front of their jackets. So that's how they were addressed in interviews. Heck, look at the writing credits. All the writing credits for each song are just their numbers. So I don't know if I would classify them as R&B, but that's just kind of where I had them, you know. And the song Land of Hunger, I loved that as a kid. That song was one, again, it's just, oh, motorcycle helmets, they're so cool, you know, the whole nine. And last but not least, the greatest 80s R&B band, all time, hands down. 2 through whatever else, these can fluctuate depending on my mood or whatever else, but this band, #1 80s R&B band of all time. Roger, or I should say Zapp and Roger. Now they had like 5 albums I have by them, but this is Zapp 3. This band wrote more funk, maybe with the exception of Parliament, George Clinton and Parliament. Even then, I would say they're right on par, and I might even give Zapp the nod. They wrote more funk than any other band ever. And there's a good indication when you look at just the sheer number of literally hundreds of hip-hop songs that have been sampled from Roger and Zapp. Now, I picked this album because my favorite song by them is I Can Make You Dance. The tightest song they ever wrote, or the most impactful song they ever wrote, was More Bounce to the Ounce. I mean, that beat has been sampled by more artists to, if you gave me time, I could literally write a list of 50 to 75 plus artists that have sampled that song. I mean, More Bounce to the Ounce was sampled by MC Breed, sampled by Ice Cube, sampled by South Central Cartel, Heavy D. I mean, on and on and on. And I'm talking note for note with that song. And these guys, they were just like the first ones that really perfected that, you know, lay down these funky bass lines and keep everything extremely 70s funk, but then dump that voice box on top of it. And they just made the tightest tracks ever. So without question, Roger and Zapp, #1 80s R&B group. Oh man, I just cannot tell you how tight that is. And again, if you never heard of them before, just go check out I Can Make You Dance, or check out More Bounce to the Ounce. You know, it just goes on and on. I mean, I can just even look at the album right here and think like, you know, I Can Make You Dance. I know a song that was sampled by Ice Cube on that. Heartbreaker Part 1 and Part 2, South Central Cartel sampled that. Do Why Diddy, Paperboy sampled that. I mean, and just like go right down the list of just the tracks on this album and just name off bands that sampled that stuff note for note. So anyway, whew, that was a good one. That's my favorite 80s male R&B artist, and I'll probably be back, I don't know, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, but I'll probably do my favorite 80s hip-hop male artist as well, because there's just so many categories to go through with that 80s. So again, Adam, congratulations. There's my third response, and as always, VC, let me know what you think, and we will talk to you guys soon. All right, take care, guys.